around January 3rd, just, seeking the Lord for kind of what can we expect, or what is on your heart? What do we need to be doing for 2026? And, I've had some dreams about 2026, but really this word just kind of landed in my spirit. And as I was praying about the times we were entering, I heard the Lord say, seek and destroy. And I don't go around thinking that, I'm not like seek and destroy. I don't know. It was just one of those things that dropped in my spirit. And when I heard it, it's like I immediately sensed it had to do with altars. And upon looking up the phrase seek and destroy, because I was like, okay, seek and destroy. I know I've heard that before somewhere, like that concept or that idea. And so when I looked it up, seek and destroy is originated from what I found to be a military doctrine or a tactic that's largely originated in the Vietnam War, that consists of sending military to search out and destroy enemy strategic targets and enemy forces. And it was an aggressive tactic to wipe out enemy strongholds. So, they use, like the military will use the phrase search and destroy or seek and destroy interchangeably. And at its core, this tactic involves actively locating enemy forces. So you're actively looking for where strategic targets are, where their forces are, rather than waiting for the battle to come to you. You're going to them. And so it involves pursuit and pursuing them. And it involves eliminating their military capability, often very decisively. So the emphasis on seek and destroy is not on defensive warfare, but on offensive pursuit. And it reminds me of the scriptures in the Bible that use similar language and tactics. So we can pull that up. It's Deuteronomy 12, 2-3. You shall utterly destroy all the places where the nations which you shall dispossess served their gods, on the high mountains and on the hills and under every green tree. And you shall destroy their altars, break their sacred pillars, and burn their wooden images with fire. You shall cut down the carved images of their gods and destroy their names from that place.
That's pretty strong language.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, it's very militaristic, hey, it's offensive language. It's not wait for them to fight, and if they attack you, then push back. It's no, you're possessing the land, and what has occupied these places that are involved with other deities, other false gods, those places have to be destroyed. So, wow, that was intense. So there is another scripture, 2 Kings 23, 4-20. Did I get that right? Maybe it's 14-20. Let me see.
It's 2 Kings 23, 4-20.
Okay. All right. So I did say, let's read all that. All right. Well, let's, So here it is. Then the king commanded Hilkiah the priest of the second order and the doorkeepers to bring out the temple of the Lord, all the articles that were made for Baal, for Asherah, and for all the host of heaven. And he burned them outside Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron and carried their ashes to Bethel. And then I have here, let's see, what's your next scripture? Did you remove that out? Yeah. So then he removed the idolatrous priests from the kings of Judah, had ordained to burn incense on the high places in the cities of Judah, in the places all around Jerusalem, and those who burn incense to Baal, to the sun, to the moon, to the constellations, and to all the hosts of heaven. And he brought out the wooden image from the house of the Lord to the brook Kidron outside Jerusalem, burned it at the brook Kidron, and grounded it to ashes, and threw its ashes on the graves of the common people. Then he tore down the ritual booths of the perverted persons that were in the house of the Lord, where the women wove hangings for the wooden image. And he brought all the priests from the cities of Judah and defiled the high places where the priests had burned incense, from Geba to Beersheba. Also, he broke down the high places at the gates, which were at the entrance of the gate of Joshua, the governor of the city, which were to the left of the city gate. Nevertheless, the priests of the high place did not come up to the altar of the Lord in Jerusalem, but they ate unleavened bread among their brethren. And he defiled Topheth, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, that no man might make his son or his daughter pass through the fire to Molech. Then he removed the horses that the kings of Judah had dedicated to the sun at the entrance to the house of the Lord by the chamber of Nathan Melech, the officer who was in the court, and he burned the chariots of the sun with fire. Mm-hmm. Altars that were on the roof, the upper chamber of Ahaz, which the kings of Judah had made, and the altars which Manasseh had made in the two courts of the house of the Lord, the king broke down and pulverized there and threw their dust into the brook Kidron. So I'll stop there. You're seeing a bit of a theme here, right? You're seeing this, like, we are grinding these things to powder. We are destroying them. And it wasn't just, hey, if something appears, maybe get rid of it. No, it's find these high places, everything they've touched, everything they've dedicated, every place, we are destroying it. We're grinding it to powder. And so it is an intense tactic of takeover in the spirit. So, I'll just say this too. I'll read my notes here. Josiah also, so he did away with the idolatrous priests ordained by the kings of Judah.
Yes.
To burn the incense on the high places of the cities of Judah and all of Jerusalem, those who had burned incense to Baal, to the sun, to the moon, to the constellations. And he brought the Asherah pole from the house of the Lord to the Kidron Valley outside Jerusalem. He burned it, ground it to powder, threw its dust on the graves of the common people. So, you can read that passage and just see how intense the mission was, the assignment was to utterly destroy these altars, these idols, these places that were dedicated to false deities. God does, it's interesting. You kind of get a view of God. He's a jealous God. Mm-hmm. And you kind of get a view that he's saying, I'm not going to share my space with any false deity. And I'm not going to allow their influence into the land that my people are meant to possess and hold. So that is something you'll see throughout the theme, especially in the Old Testament and scriptures like this. So I would say go do your own reading on it and just let that speak to you.
That's so good. Your point of God is a jealous God, and he doesn't want that influence to be mingled with worship of him. If, worship God only, don't worship other false gods, choose this day whom you'll serve. And I'm sure, just like today, when we block our kids from seeing things that we know, you shouldn't be seeing that. You shouldn't be listening to that or watch that. It's a parent's love to keep your children pure and keep them clean. And you see, it's the Lord's love to keep the people separated.